Countrywide Connect with Andy Thompson and Sarah Perriam-Lamp.
Joining us now on the line is Chris Gourley, the
He
CEO
also agrees
of
on shirt colour.
Fern Energy, who's had to listen to all our ramble. Thank you for joining us, Chris. Chris,
No worries.
yesterday it was actually really great in preparation for your interview because Ray Smith, the Director General of MPI, is currently on the fuel supply response. I'm not sure if I got that quite right, but around
Pretty close.
the
Yeah.
management of that. So we learned a lot yesterday about fuel as well. So where exactly are we at the moment as of today, 21 May?
Yeah, well, look, supply, as I said last time, has stabilised. So that I guess the markets are adjusted around the challenges we're still focusing globally. Price is still elevated significantly, but it's off the peak, which is positive. And so we have seen some reductions over the last few weeks where we've got back to a lower level, but still, I think to come is the increased costs are going to pass through the supply chain now. So we're going to see a lot of that over the next sort of 3 or 4 months where, petrochemicals, freight costs, all that sort of stuff is going to feed into our economy over the next period. But touch wood, we have stabilised a bit.
Okay, so on the fuel prices, let's talk specifically about that. I actually asked Ray Smith in the interview yesterday,
Nice.
based on some information that you gave me, Chris.
Oh, watch out.
Yes. So, and I did quote you, by the way. So,
Nice.
if someone does come ring you from MPI, you know why you're in trouble.
A little black van coming to pick me up and take me away forever.
Yeah. Sorry about that. But specifically, I asked him about the refining costs, and you had said, look, a big problem here is the jump in refining costs, and you very generously sent us a nice graphic, and it shows the difference in the diesel refining costs, and we're going to put that up on screen, and
Nice.
I want you to talk to us about it and what that means.
Well done,
Yeah,
Andy.
no.
That's quite clever.
Oh, yeah. It's up
See,
there,
I'm
isn't it?
learning.
So
You got it on
if you
screen?
are listening and you'd like
yes,
to watch
sorry.
this interview, please head to YouTube on demand or, of course, the video live stream.
Nice. All right, cool. So you've got it up on the screen, have you?
Yeah, we
can't
have.
see it,
Yep.
but it must be up there. Yeah, so I mean, I think it's quite interesting. It just gives you a price comparational breakdown from February through to March. And you can see the blue there is the crude or Brent crude cost, which is your raw material going into that build. And it has lifted based on the increased cost of crude, but not as significantly as the red, which you'll see sitting there in February. The refining cost was much lower. And then all of a sudden, when we had the crisis, the refining cost really leapt forward.
So for people, sorry, Chris, sorry, I was just going to interrupt. For people who are listening and can't see, the refining cost in February was 20 cents, right?
That's right.
And now the refining cost is $1.40. The thing that fascinates for diesel, this is
so it's about 600% increase in a month. Incredible way.
The raw material price, the crude plus shipping, has only gone from $1.10 to $1.30.
Exactly right.
Which is counterintuitive to everything that we would believe.
Yeah, you did right. And it is interesting, isn't it? I think the refining cost is largely driven out of, there was some infrastructure damage, so there's less refineries in the world that can actually produce the quality diesel we require. There's things that you may have heard banting around called quality premiums because of the type of diesel we demand in New Zealand. So they have leapt significantly, so they feed in there. Refining diesel is much, much more challenging than petrol, 2 to 1. So there is some real costs associated in there, but I think you've also got to realize there is a supply and demand challenge here, right? There's enough demand for diesel to take up all the supply. So I wonder what else happens in that little red box.
One of the things I picked up, Ray said that, and why the price is going to continue to stay high regardless of the outcome of the war, is because they don't want to take the risk any longer of getting that much reliance of supply just from the Middle East and to spread around the world. And I'm assuming that's where the high refinery costs are.
Yeah, that's right. And there's different grades of crude as well that's coming in, which is harder to refine, which drives costs. So the stuff from the Middle East is easier to refine because of the quality. So yeah, there's all those things. And yeah, I think that is about maintaining supply because global supply of fuel is still being drawn down. So all the supply that's all around the world, it's still topping up demand, if that makes sense. So they're not producing enough right now. It's still actually going down. So the natural strategy is to stabilize supply, right? So that's what they're talking about in that regards, is that we can't just go back to having all our eggs in one basket, I assume.
Yeah, what's fascinating also, Chris, and I know that you mentioned this, is it shows very nicely, and if Cody can put this back up again, the rise in GST take from the government with the fuel price
I've had
rising.
debates with that one, different people, but ultimately from a business to business perspective, not an impact, but from a consumer perspective, absolutely that pocket's gone up a bit, hasn't it? It's just a percentage of fuel price.
25 cents, 25 cents in February, up to 40 cents as a percentage of your fuel price in March.
Yeah, but then in saying that, it's probably helped to underpin the $93 million deal that Ray had to do the other day to park it in Marsden Point.
Yeah.
You would hope they're using some of that take to maintain some of those things, but you can't. It's a percentage of price. So if price goes up goes the take, right?
Chris, with the refining costs going up so significantly and the small increase in the actual crude and shipping price, when we see the oil price drop and it's down to like $105 or something today, we would normally expect to see that fuel price or the diesel price drop back to where it was pre the 28th of February, say at $1.80, $1.90 a litre, something like that. We're not going to see that, are we?
Well, Brent crude is still high, let's be honest. It was $60 in February, so it's still significantly higher than what it was. But that's already priced in, and that hasn't adjusted for the last 2 months. If you track it, it's anywhere between $95 and $115 a barrel for the whole last 2 months. So that's embedded. So any volatility we're seeing at the moment has to be attuned to the refining costs, and we have seen it softening. So supply is, I guess, coming right in places. So we are seeing some, but it's the refining costs, I think, where we're seeing that volatility now, if that makes sense, not in the crude, because the crude has stayed reasonably static for the last couple of months.
What can we do about it?
I think we're in New Zealand, a long way from nowhere. We import every drop of fuel that we use in New Zealand. We don't do any refining ourselves. So we're price takers. I'm not sure what, as a country, we can do. I don't think even New Zealand government would have got a massive discount for their 90 million litres, right? We are going to market and paying the price. So there's very little what we can control. I think the best we can do, and I've said this a few times in the farming sector, is actually just be realistic in our budgets over the next 3 or 4 months. We're not going to see a softening that's going to be significant enough. And if it does, hallelujah, your budget looks fantastic anyway. So put it into your budget. Think about making sure you're costing it. And the other thing I'd probably recommend is don't panic too much. Like I've had a few conversations with farmers saying, I'm going to stop you filling my tank and I'm going to go to the gas station because it's cheaper. But they're looking at the prices from last month. And prices coming down. So be quite careful, because you get a statement monthly from us, right? And you look at it and go, oh my God, look at the price. But when you get your fuel, remember our glass of water trick? Whenever we put fuel in your tank, you're paying for the price then. So just double check what your price is before you sort of turn your tank off and go to the gas station, if I'd suggest.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good thinking. Yeah.
All right. So we always talk price, and we've done that one. Supply. Talk to us about supply. And what difference does it make, the big tank that's going to be filled up in Marsden Point that they're cleaning furiously at the moment? One of the most interesting 7 Sharp pieces that I've seen for a long time, to be fair.
No, it's positive. I mean, we were talking about this a couple of years ago, that we needed to increase storage in New Zealand. So we import all our fuel. The more safety stock we have in New Zealand, the better, right? And that was the whole regulations around minimum stock levels that all the importers have to live to. So an extra 9 days has got to be helpful, right? And government stock, which they will control and release if we have another supply shock. Right now, though, we're not seeing any evidence of a supply shock, but geez, it's got to be good to have more storage on shore, right?
So that minimum of 28 days supply by the importers, distributors, plus the
for
9.
Diesel, it's 23 days at the moment.
Yeah.
The government want to move to 28 days, but they've put that on hold at the moment because of the fuel crisis, I believe. Yeah.
Right, but they will increase what you have to have on hand.
Yeah, that's right. They're planning to move it from 23 to 28 days. I think this change that the fuel crisis has brought, with the government taking control of sort of 9-day stock, maybe that'll give us the opportunity to hold fire a wee bit, because it puts a lot of pressure on price, actually, when the importers have to hold more stock that they can't sell, right? Because it immediately just impacts the amount that we can release, if that makes any sense. So it will push up price because of just simple supply and demand. So I think look, I'm not in the government. I haven't got a clue what they're thinking about, but the delay in increasing from 23 to 28 is a good thing in my view, particularly with the government bringing in extra supply that they can control if we have another crisis.
So a couple of things about that extra supply then up there in Marsden Point, which is at the top of the country. Is it in the wrong place? And how long can they hold it for?
Yeah, I mean, that's what, I don't know if I shared another graph with you, but that is the reason we had a bit of a supply challenge in the regions, because the regions don't have significant amount of storage compared to Marsden and Wirral, which are the two biggest areas, because the Marsden and Wirral are hooked up by a pipeline. So effectively they can work together with their supply. The region's storage is much, much smaller. So when you have massive artificial demand spikes like we saw, poor old Bluff, they didn't have enough fuel to get through to the next boat. And we don't have a regional boat ticking around. So I guess it would come back to trucking that fuel and taking pressure off other ports if we had another supply crisis.
So long as the ferries work.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
God, you don't want to ask for too much at once.
like a regular supply line between the two islands of the country.
I wouldn't imagine.
Imagine that. Wouldn't that be sensible?
Interesting, eh?
Yeah.
Hey,
But at this point in time, we don't have a regional supply tanker running around. We used to, when we refined diesel in Marsden. There used to be a regional boat that used to pop around all the ports and drop off refined fuel from Marsden. That's long gone since the change. And now all ports are direct imported, so they come from overseas. Yeah.
Do we train fuel? I mean, that's an efficient way of moving fuel. Do we do that or not?
Don't believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
You've got so many great ideas. You should run for politics.
Oh no, don't do that. No, that would be problematic.
Prime Minister, love it.
That sounds like a New Zealand first policy though, to get a boat. Yeah.
I've got 80 tankers running around New Zealand. I could put your face on the back, Andy, for Prime Minister.
You could put Countrywide Connect on the back. We'd love that. Anyway.
Yeah, and fill up that nice round oval back.
Yeah, with his big smiley face.
Yeah, stop it. Right, Chris
Especially
Gourley.
when you got road rage and you see Andy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it would be fun. You just calm down, wouldn't you? You'd just be like,
he's
Andy's
got
what have I done to deserve this? I bring you on the show to add some real content, and all you do is take the mic off. Thank you very much.
I was just working with Sarah on that. It was nothing to do with me.
Thank you, Chris. I'll pay you later. Thank you very much. Chris Gourley, the CEO of Fern Energy, in our regular update with Chris around what is going on with fuel.
Thanks very much, team.
Thanks, guys.
Countrywide Connect with Andy Thompson and Sarah Perriam-Lapp.